So today I'm joined by
Victor
and
Caroline.
and we're gonna be filming our first ever Q&A for this channel. So we decided to make this video because coming into Santa Clara, you all have a lot of questions and we thought we would try to get into a couple of them. So yes, we are going to be grouping these into like sections such as like housing, classes, food, social life, and just random questions that we thought you might all want the answers to. All right, so I believe we're going to get into the first category of housing. Can I bring big furniture into the residence hall?
I lived in University Villas during emergency housing, and my sophomore year, the rest of my sophomore year, you don't really need big furnitures if you're in the villas.
Okay, so Victor's response was because he's actually a transfer student and you're going into your senior year?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going into his senior year, whereas I'm actually a second year and Caroline's a junior. So for me, from my experience, I lived in a double and it was pretty crammed, and I was kind of in one of the smaller ones, so I wasn't even allowed to like bring a nightstand because I just felt like it would be like a very small room because I lived in Swig, and I know the same rules would apply for like McWalsh, I believe, and Dunn because they are the smaller doubles. But if you did live in any of the other halls, I'd recommend always looking at the videos of the 360. So the next question is, do a lot of people cook in their residence hall? And Caroline actually didn't live on campus, she lived off campus, so she could probably talk a little bit about just cooking overall.
Yeah, so since I've always lived off campus, I do all my own cooking, but I would definitely recommend for the residence halls, they have like shared kitchens, and if you get like pots and pans, like maybe one plate, one bowl, silverware, you can use that to cook in the communal kitchen.
If you need kitchen supplies, you can always go to the front desk and ask the CFs or desk assistant.
The next question I have is, what is the nearest department store? So
We've got a Target pretty close to campus. I know there's an IKEA. There's also a Home Depot pretty close. All different kinds of stores for whatever you need for moving in. Every store you could need, I would say, is within like a 20 to 30 minute drive.
we're gonna move over to the food section now. What is our favorite Benson food?
Spicy salmon in Skitty. Their salmon bites are spicy.
I think, yeah, it's like ahi poke bites. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Because they have like a cafe downstairs of this building called Fresh Bite. They have like little sliders, they have ahi, they have like avocado toast, but they're like very tiny, but it's like perfect when you want a snack.
I guess it's not a food, but I really like the coffee at Benson. I don't know, I feel like it's easier than Starbucks.
What's your coffee order?
I usually just get an iced coffee with soy milk and sugar-free vanilla. So pretty basic, but...
Do you like the way the meal plan works? So personally, I got just the basic plan because I was just like a first year and I didn't know how much I would eat, and I found it pretty reasonable, at least for myself. I'd always get like 2 meals and I always had extra points at the end. So then I would like start like getting more coffees, or I would start doing like spending more here and there. They actually have a chart around Benson showing you like how much points you should be at per week, so you know if you're kind of on track and if you'll have enough money.
The Sellers is like a little supermarket where you can get fresh vegetables and fruits.
You can always, if you have extra meal points or even throughout the quarter, you can like run down to the cellar and pick up a few treats and just like give them to your friends because it's really nice.
Does Benson offer gluten-free options, or in your case, vegetarian as well?
I feel like Benson does have a good amount of like vegetarian and gluten-free and just non-like standard options. I think the salad bar is a pretty safe option for people who are like eat kind of like restricted, have like a restricted diet, because you really get to see like what you're putting in it and pick, so you can make sure that there's not any cross-contamination. And then I know they do have gluten-free pizza, which is good because it's like sad, I feel like, when people that are gluten-free can't enjoy pizza.
There's a menu that you could check out. Yeah. And you get to see it per week, and next to it there's like little symbols that say like vegan or gluten-free in case you really want to double check. I'd say that's your safest bet.
Also at Stacks, is that
Yeah.
the sandwich place?
Yeah.
They have gluten-free bread, I know that.
Yeah. Okay, so the next section we're gonna get into is all about like classes and I guess like majors and minors. So where do we study?
My favorite study spot is a private library room. It's number 210. It's the like only study room where you can see outside. I'll be sitting there for like 4 hours, and so it's nice to be able to like feel a little bit like I'm outside rather than just being in like a dark box.
Heavey is a good spot for those of you who don't know. It's the engineering building right across Skiddy.
Is attendance mandatory for classes?
It's definitely recommended because you want to make your tuition worth. At the end of the day, it comes down to you and your professor. Yeah.
If you're present, that's obviously a good way to be able to learn, especially because like it also creates a relationship with your professor. On the other hand, if something is going on personal or whatever might be happening, always at least communicate, because I know sometimes it could be hard to like want to reach out to your professor, want to email them because you feel like there's like a wall. But I say communication with your professor is always really important. Email them, and if they don't reply, talk to them after class maybe, but at least try to let them know that you're not going to be there. Is it hard to change majors or switch schools? So if, for example, you want to change into the business school, there's only a specific time period where you're allowed to do this. You have to do an application process, so it's not a guaranteed chance that you'll be able to switch. So my suggestion for that would be to at least take classes within the school that you were accepted to, and just see and venture out, because there's a lot of options within each college. So the second part of that question was, is it hard to change majors? So both getting a minor and switching majors, you go through the same link, which I will also link in the description, but it would be under the Office of Registrar's website, and there's a form called like Program Petition Form, and it's pretty self-explanatory from there. It just tells you like what school you're in, like what are you trying to do? Are you trying to drop a major, add a minor? And then you would just submit a request in around 2 weeks. You'll be able to see it on your transcript on your eCampus.
If you don't see the major that you're interested in, you can also make your own major just by picking different classes you think that should be in the major, and you can write a petition as well.
So the next section we're going to be moving into is like the social life. Would you both say, or would all of us say, is it easy to make friends?
Everybody's pretty friendly, and we have a very diverse student groups.
I feel like I kind of forgot, like coming into school, I forgot what it's like to like go through the process of making friends, because I hadn't really done it since high school. But I think it takes a lot more effort than I remembered to just be like reaching out to people. I feel like Victor said, everyone's pretty friendly, and so I think just making an effort and reaching out.
And another thing that's like common, especially since like I'm a recent first year, is that literally during your first week on campus and while you're moving in, all the doors will be open if they want to be open. Like you can just pop into people and be like, hey, and that's where it's like the non-awkward stage in my opinion, because like everyone's just like trying to make friends, like no one knows each other. So that's normally a good way to start making friends. There's something out here for everyone. So for example, there's the culture clubs if you want to just meet new people.
Definitely go to culture clubs.
Yeah,
events.
culture clubs they're fun. There's special other clubs on campus which are called the Charter Student Organizations and the RSOs, which are Registered Student Organizations, and we'll link those as well. There's a lot of clubs for everyone.
One last thing, I feel like it's totally okay not to like meet your best friends during the first couple weeks of school or the first quarter, or being best friends with your roommate. I feel like those are standards that people feel like they need to like live up to. Like you need to make all these friends and your roommate needs to be your best friend, but you totally don't. And I feel like everyone's kind of on their own different little schedule or pace for making friends.
What interesting clubs are there on campus / what are we a part of?
The only club I'm active in is the ACM club, the computer science club.
So I'm in part of the Barcada, which is the Filipino club on campus. All of the cultural clubs hold like an hour-long meeting like every week, which are not mandatory. It's really just like up to you whenever you want to show up, which I feel like I like, because I feel like I don't have to be there if I don't have the time to, but I like knowing that there's an option. I'm also part of Women in Business because I'm in the business school, so they're like, I learn like resume workshops, LinkedIn, Handshake. I even get talks from like people who are already in the business field. And yeah, what are you?
I'm not super involved with clubs on campus, but I'm in Charge, which is an all-girls workout club, and I think that's a super fun social club because you meet people with similar interests. You do like small group workouts once a week, and then there's once a week they have weekly workouts at local workout studios, and they're always free, which is really nice because they went to Soul Cycle last quarter and a bunch of other studios, which is crazy that it's all able to fit in with your membership like cost, because the classes themselves are pretty expensive.
And there's also a bunch more, we call them RSOs, which are like over 150 other clubs on campus that you can get involved in. Okay. So the next question is like in the random category where I didn't know where to put them. So the first one is, what does summer orientation for the incoming students look like?
This year's summer orientation is special because we're online.
Which means plenty more of opportunities for you all, such as our Bronco Exchange platform.
Yeah, we do like 3 events per day on Bronco Exchange, sometimes more, sometimes less, but they're a great way to just get to know. Informational ones, you can get to know things about school, social ones, and social justice ones. I feel like it's a really great opportunity to make a little bit of community at school and just learn about the school before you get here in September.
So, is it true that first and second years can have their car on campus? No, it is not true. You are not allowed to have your car on campus as a first year unless you're a commuter student or you've talked to campus safety. So, I'll talk about Caltrain, and Caroline will be talking about the zip cars, and Victor will just add on. So we have Caltrain, which is the train system in California, or at least the Bay Area, and it's right across campus. It is literally right across campus. I would recommend, if you're only using it every couple of days, to get the Caltrain app, and there you can buy tickets. But there's also the option of zip cars, which Caroline will talk about.
Yeah, so zip cars are like little rental cars that you can rent as a college student. You sign up for Zipcar, they have an app that's super easy to use, and then you pay like a once-a-year membership fee, I believe, and then you pay anywhere from like $10-ish to $20 to rent the car per hour, and gas is included, which is really nice. And most of the cars, all of them fit 5 people, so you could get the least expensive car and split it by 5. It's super inexpensive.
The good thing is, there's a college student account or a discount for SUs. Zip cars are 24/7, and we have 2 spots on campus.
I guess we'll talk about the gym next. So, what is the best time to go to Mali, which is the gym, and is it free?
I would say the best time to go is the morning, but like, who wants to get up at like 7 in the morning to go? But 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. is when it's the most crowded because most people are out of class.
Also, the gym is free. It's free starting September 19th though, so you cannot go as soon as you move in because technically those are still under the summer membership. We also do have an outdoor volleyball court, and the basketball. There's also courts indoors, maybe 3 or 4 full-size courts, which people can switch to badminton courts as well. We also have table tennis. We also have real tennis, like outdoor tennis, and we have an aquatic center. And if there's anything else we forgot, it'll be right here as well.
Oh, the running track.
Oh, there's also a running track.
The running track in the field.
And then this is we're actually gonna get into our last question because we're making this into different parts because we don't want this video to be way too long. What made us choose SCU over our other choices? I'm pretty local. I'm around 40 minutes from campus, and I really wanted to stay that way. And I also heard that the business school is really, really good here, and I felt like I felt at home knowing it was so close.
I'm from Chicago, or Chicago area, so I wanted to get out of the cold weather and not have like unbearable winters. And I also went to a really small high school. I had like 65 girls in my grade, in my graduating class, so I knew that I couldn't go to a super big school because it would be overwhelming. And I found that the small class size is honestly really nice for me because I'm able to like participate in my classes with all these new students because they're just not too big and too scary.
The one word I say is location. Location is great. We have Silicon Valley, we have California.
With that being said, thank you all for staying this long if you made it. And we're gonna end this part 1 and we're gonna do the part 2 right now. So feel free to watch that. I believe it's gonna be out a couple days after this one. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.